Hello and welcome to the Catholic Nerds Podcast, your Pauline source for quality Catholic nerdery and gaming. This is Scott,
Cody,
and Erik. And today we have a special. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, Erik's going to be taking point on this one since he's kind of our Catholic gaming expert.
Yeah.
We have a special guest with us tonight, Mr. Charlie McKinney, and take it away, Erik.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Charlie, for joining us today. Charlie is the president of Sophia Institute Press, and today we are talking about the Journeys of St. Paul, the board game that they produced. So first off, hello, Charlie.
Hey guys, nice to see you all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So I saw Journeys of St. Paul, amazing board game. I was at my work meeting, I think, probably like 6 months ago, and I saw a Sophia Press advertisement just sitting there on the desk. So I opened it up, was just thumbing through it, and I saw this board game, caught my interest. The artwork for this is really cool.
Yeah.
I love the
flight
camera there. Yeah. The flight of one of the messengers of St. Paul getting his epistles out, or his letters. We can put it there and not fall over. There we go. And so essentially the board game is you play a messenger who's carrying one of St. Paul's letters, and you have to go through I guess it's set in Rome technically.
Yeah, maybe? It can. Yeah, and you're running the epistle to some, to either Corinth or Rome or some other place. Like, your job is to get that epistle to the next location so that people can learn the gospel.
Yeah, and so it's set up as kind of a race too. So you and the other players, you each got a copy of the epistle or the letter, and you're trying to get it to Corinth or Rome, and the first person to get there wins. So it's a.
I wonder if that's how it actually happened. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Do you think the messengers would?
Here's
would
3 copies.
I want to take one to Ephesus. Do we get to take one to Ephesus and see the Blessed Mother hanging out?
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of flexibility in the game, and your imagination can go wild.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But before we get into the game, we'll go with we're actually going to play the game today with Charlie here. But first, we just wanted to get to know Charlie a little bit. So, Charlie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm president of Sophia Institute Press. I've been president now for this is my 10th year. And when I came on, we were really just publishing books. We were publishing about 2 books a month, and now we're publishing close to 10 books a month, 120 books a year, all focused on Catholic spirituality, Catholic history, apologetics, church history. And the whole goal is to help lead souls to heaven, to help people deepen their spiritual life, to grow closer to Christ. And we do that through many ways. So that's what we do kind of on the book side. And then we've got a division called Sophia Institute for Teachers, where we produce textbooks for Catholic schools, and we host teacher training programs. So we've got about close to 800 schools that use our textbooks, and we've trained about 30,000 teachers. So, we've got a great team of about 70 people at Sophia Institute Press who work hard every day, just helping to produce good, solid content that help Catholics to grow in the faith.
Awesome. Yeah. It's really cool to be a part of something that you love to do. I mean, is this something you've always seen yourself doing, or?
No. I'm a convert to the faith. I converted
awesome.
About 16 years ago. And what was interesting is, I kind of came to the faith intellectually, by reading the early church fathers and things like that. And and when I became Catholic, I kind of became an intellectual Catholic. But and I always read, and once I got in and started being introduced to all of these, kind of the writings of the saints and all this deep spirituality that I never experienced as a Protestant, as a Southern Baptist, that really kind of deepened my faith pretty significantly. And many of the books that I had read were Sophia Institute Press books. And so I was already up here in New Hampshire, which is where Sophia was founded. And the founder was looking to retire. And even though I had absolutely no experience in publishing, or the closest I had come is reading a lot of books. So I put my hat in the ring and ended up getting the job. And we've been, working aggressively to grow and expand our work ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah. How'd you make it from Southern Baptist territory to New Hampshire?
Yeah, well, so I grew up in Alabama, okay, and I was a Southern Baptist in Alabama, and I never in my life had, so far as I know, had met a Catholic, because it's just like it was really rural, about an hour and a half north of Birmingham, and I think the Diocese of Birmingham has like 2% of the people in that diocese are actually Catholic, and so like to this day, my parents still live there, and I think that my wife and myself and our children, I think we're the only Catholics my parents know. There just are not Catholics there. So I ended up moving up to Washington, D.C., and I was working in politics there. And that was really my first exposure to Catholics. And I noticed, like, in conversations with people, like, Catholics tended to have like answers to all these questions I had, like, how can the Bible be infallible and inerrant if it's put together, 200 years after the death of Christ? Little questions like that. And the Catholics seem to have answers to all these questions. And to be honest, like, what turned me off from Catholicism initially was going to a daily mass. One of my friends invited me to a daily mass, and like, I had never experienced liturgy before. He didn't prep me at all. And so like I walk in and he genuflects, and I had no idea what he was doing. I was completely weirded out by the whole thing. So that set me back like maybe 4 years, I would say.
Oh, wow.
After I got married, and I just didn't consider Catholicism anymore until my wife and I had our first kid, and like right after marriage, 9 months after marriage. And
Awesome.
Very common. Yeah.
yeah, and we got into a whole debate about whether to baptize our kid or not. She was a Calvinist, and they baptized children. I was a Southern Baptist, and we don't baptize till the age of reason. And so that sort of led us into, reading about this. And the Bible's not clear. All right, now it seems clear to me because it says bring your whole for baptism. But at the time, like, that wasn't clear enough for me as a sola scriptura guy. Anyway, so somehow we ended up getting into the early church fathers, and there's so much writing about baptism by the early church fathers because there was a whole debate about whether to baptize instantly or on the 8th day in place of circumcision. And so when I realized all the early Christians believed in infant baptism, that sort of made me wonder, what else did these early church fathers believe? And that just like brought back all these conversations I had with Catholics. And in 2008, both my wife and I converted at the same time.
Awesome. That's beautiful. So getting back to being the president, what does the president of a publishing company do on a daily basis? Like what's your job in a sense?
It really depends. So on some days, I'm really involved very aggressively in like marketing plans and marketing campaigns and things like that. On other days, I'm, kind of working with the editorial team on deciding which books we're going to publish, which the marketing team's always involved in that. But a lot of times I'm just dealing with, issues that come up. It's like when you go into the day, your schedule never ends up being what you expected it to be, because whether it's personnel issues or, I don't know, there's always something that comes up that ends up sucking up much of your time. And then other parts, it's just analyzing, like it's analyzing data. It's seeing, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Because there's 70 people with families that are depending on me not making stupid decisions. So I always want to make sure that what we're doing is, prudent. So I spend a lot of time in Excel sheets.
That's a lot of weight to have on your shoulders.
Yeah.
The Sophia Institute, have you shepherded any books that might be particularly good for someone like yourself or where you used to be? Some kind of um, you know, Baptist guide to the liturgy, to genuflecting.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's we've done a lot of kind of conversion stories. And because like when I was early in my conversion process, like I read Surprised by Truth and Rome Sweet Home, and like these, to hear Protestants kind of grapple or explain how they grappled with some of these same issues that I was grappling with, like praying to the saints and things like this that were so foreign to me, was very helpful. So yeah, we have several books that are like, some from Protestantism. We've got 2 books that are kind of conversion stories from people coming from atheism, and things like that. And we try, when we're doing like spiritual books, like I think a lot about, we want that person who's, at the very beginning stage of a spiritual life and really aren't beginning to pray daily, up to those who are, maybe praying an hour a day, and like, where do they go next? And how do they deepen their spiritual life even more? So we really do try to cover the gamut when it comes to, producing books. And when you're producing as many books as we do, like, you almost have to, because there's only so many of the same book you can publish.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And we do a lot of like reprints of old books, like 100-year-old books that we feel have redeeming value. And, the depth at which a lot of these writers wrote, at that time is, really powerful and strong. And they come at it from a different way than we moderns do. And it's very important to have modern perspectives on it, and we do that. But there's also a value in taking like these perennial books on perennial topics and, giving them, kind of putting a new title on it and putting a new cover on it that, and making it available for a new audience,
Yeah.
I'm super interested in that topic. I have a little I have a little publishing company myself, Holy Water Books, and we do some reprints. And I'm also an attorney, so I've tried to get rights to some of, I think it's a corporal work of mercy to save some of these books from obscurity or from languishing, from being out of print. And like there's this one really good book, and I did all I could to try and get it, To Love Fasting by a Belgian Benedictine, Adalbert de Vogel.
Huh. Okay. And you couldn't get it?
Yeah, I couldn't get it. The rights should revert pretty soon back to the original French.
Okay.
But it's something that I think y'all may encounter as much as I do, that these like this was owned by an abbey that wasn't really, they saw how I'm a very orthodox publisher, I'm not, would not say on the left side of things. And they recognized, me being pro-life, those sorts of things, from the books I had published, and they didn't want to do business with me because of that.
Oh, really? Wow. Huh.
And I don't know, and you probably wouldn't be able to speak to that, but at least, maybe not in this forum, but that's scary that we might lose some of these books that were written in orders that have moved on the spectrum since they were written.
Yeah, well, you definitely get that, because a lot of the priests or monks or religious who publish books, like the rights would, when they passed away, and oftentimes, like even now when we publish books by religious, we're signing the contract with the order, not with the individual author. And so, I mean, look, I guess the only upside is that it does go into the public domain at some point.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't really bumped into that much. I mean, usually we offer money in exchange for the rights, and usually that does kind of overcome some concerns about orthodoxy.
They'll grease the treads.
That's right.
Nice. Well, just looking through the catalog real quick, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention as an aside, Teresa Tomeo has her new book, Everything's Coming Up
Yes.
Rosy.
Mhm.
I'm as people who listen to the podcast, of course, know, I work at Ave Maria Radio, so I know Teresa very well.
Oh, you
And
do?
so
Oh, that's great.
I wanted to make sure I promote that as well. So Everything's Coming Up Rosy. It's 10 things my feisty Italian American mom taught me about living a
Awesome.
godly life. And
That's awesome.
yeah, we just had our pledge drive last week. So depending on when this comes out, I guess a while ago. And yeah, we were, it was one of our donation gifts, and they
Mhm.
were just we had so many donations just to get this book. It was
Oh, really? Oh, that's
really
great.
cool. So
That's great.
really excited for
Yeah.
it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but yeah, it just looks like so Italian.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
That's funny.
So if you're Italian, you'll definitely probably get something great out of it. So
No doubt. Teresa's great, and she did a
Oh,
great
yeah.
job on that.
yeah. All right.
And,
Well,
Well, hold
I
on.
mean-
As you would be
sorry.
remiss in not bringing that up, I would be remiss not to bring up a topic. What do we call them?
What? Oh, a
recurring
segment?
topic.
A segment. That's the word I'm looking for. A segment that we normally do.
Oh yeah, Colby's not here, so yes, you'll have to take the
oh,
reins for that.
No, it's me.
That's a Cody thing.
It's
yeah.
a Cody thing.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
sorry.
Cody loves Phineas and Ferb, and there Isabella comes up all the time to Phineas and Ferb and says, "What you doing?" So we have a segment. It would be ridiculous not to do it on this podcast
Yeah.
called "What You Reading." So I want to ask you, Charlie, what are you reading right now?
Well, I just started one of our most recent books, which is called The Habsburg Way by
Oh,
Edward Habsburg. Do you know this guy? Do you know the Habsburg?
I
family?
do. We had adoration this past Sunday, and our parish priest, Father Chris Decker, was what he was reading during this parish wide
Oh, really?
adoration.
Oh, that's great.
We're big fans of Blessed Karl of Austria,
Yes.
and we
Mhm.
actually have a chalice. Our parish is 300 years old, and
Wow.
we have a chalice that's donated by a Habsburg princess, an Ossiborium. So yeah, we've got some little connections to the Habsburgs.
Oh, that's where are you? Where are you located?
We're in New Roads, Louisiana.
Okay.
The St. Francis Chapel was founded in 1728.
Wow.
Here, it's the oldest continually operating Catholic edifice, Catholic, church in the entire Louisiana Purchase.
Wow, that's incredible. Huh. Yeah, it's a great book. Archduke Edward Habsburg is promoting this book pretty heavily, and it's doing quite well. So I'm not able to keep up with reading all of our books before publication. So some of them I have to read after publication.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
You said you put out like 100 books a year. Yeah.
120.
Yeah.
But that book,
Oh.
I thought it was kind of a cool, in that same theme as Jordan Peterson's 8 Simple Rules
Yes,
for
yes.
life. It
Seven-
was like
Seven rules for turbulent times. Yeah, that's right.
it.
Yeah.
And one's
Well,
like
look,
have lots of children and be a great father or something like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. And look, I mean, this is a family that's maintained staunch Catholicism for centuries and centuries and centuries. And they led the Counter Reformation in Europe, and they had some of the great Catholic monarchs, controlled the Holy Roman Empire for many centuries. So it's a great Catholic family, great monarchy, and really proud of publishing that book.
Yeah, y'all should be. That was, and I wanted, I'd be remiss as well. The book, I've finished it, so I can't say I'm not quite in the right conjugation of what you're reading. What I've just read was another Sophia Institute book by Adam Bly, The Exorcist Files, and we just interviewed him as well. Like I was saying, it's some spooky stuff, wonderfully presented, but maybe read with the lights on. If you wanted to talk about that at all, he was a wonderful podcast guest.
Yeah, he's great. And he's working on a new book right now called The History of Exorcisms,
Cool.
which we hope to have out either this fall or early in the spring.
Okay.
Nice. Well, for
Nice.
me, I'm going through for the first time the Children of Hurin, J.R.R. Tolkien, of course. I've got most of the HarperCollins deluxe series books. I don't have them down here with me, but they're my nice ones. I have a nice shelf just for them upstairs. Nice. So they get the slip cover, and they get the little ribbon for bookmarker. They're nice. So nice.
They do it right. Oh, that sounds great.
And they keep coming out with these deluxe versions. They just had the was it the Fall of Numenor came out a couple months ago ish, or maybe last year. But either way, I got that one too, and they just keep pumping out these deluxes, and I want to get all of them.
Sounds like you're nerding out there.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
Lord of the Rings is the biggest topic on this show, I think.
I think it would be running in second to Marvel.
Okay, right. It's big for
unfortunately.
Me,
yeah. No, but it is. So I actually also just finished reading, and when I say reading, I mean listening to, because reading right now is all work reading, but the enjoyment and spiritual life stuff I'm able to listen to while I'm driving to and from appointments, and I don't think it's from your publishing company, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. But it's Introduction to the Spiritual Life by Dr. Brant Petrie, which is phenomenal. If you have not read it, it is amazing. I really enjoyed hearing more in depth about the deadly sins versus the virtues, the vices versus virtues. It was really cool to kind of see. And then he throws in an older traditional sin. It's not part of our today's 7 deadly sins, but he talks about the sin of sorrow. And that one was a very interesting one when you look at it, especially biblically, how it biblically shows, they talk specifically about sorrow in a bad way, but they also talk about sorrow in a good way. So there's 2 different kinds of sorrow, just like there's different ways that you can treat anger, right? You can either feed it or you can let it go, right? Just with sorrow, you can feed it or you can let it go. And so it was a very interesting book, very I think very great for my spiritual growth, and so I do recommend it. And Dr. Brant's pretty awesome too, so
yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we actually so the other guy that's on this podcast is Colby Allen. He's actually the nephew of Dr. Brant.
Really?
So yeah, so we get to hang out with Dr. Brant
world.
every now and then. Well, actually,
Nice.
He's going to be at our house this weekend.
Nice.
Our oldest is making her first communion with one of his goddaughters, and so we're hosting the reception afterwards.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're ready to play a board game.
Oh,
All right.
Let's do it.
Just switch over here. Okay, so I'm going to share screen. So now the recording should be able to see the game. Let me move our photo or
Eric's probably not going to toot his own horn, but Eric set all this up on Roll20, and it looks amazing. But also, what Sophia Institute created looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie, can you tell us about or at least name drop the developer and the artist for this?
Yeah, so the gameplay itself was developed by, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, but his first name was Jacek. He's a Polish game developer, Catholic.
Awesome.
So we took his gameplay and then we modified it internally among our staff. Our staff probably played this game 24 times at different with different modifications, with the whole goal of this thing was to make it fun for both the parent and the child so that they could play this game together. And, I got 5 kids, and look, I admire fathers who are better than me, but I just cannot play. There's only so many games of Chutes and Ladders I can play. I'll be honest. So we wanted a game that, it challenges both the parent and the child at the same time. And that's why each of the questions have an easy and a hard to make it kind of fair. Yeah. So between Jacek and our internal team, we developed the gameplay. The design itself, all the artwork is done by John Foley, who just did an incredible job on both the game board, all the pieces, and the box as well. So it was really a team effort that took more than a year to pull all this together.
Nice. Yeah, and I wanted to especially thank Sarah Lemieux, your director of publicity. She hooked me up with all the images that you get to see right here. So since of course we're as people can see, we're on Zoom, we can't actually get together because I'm in Michigan, we got Scott and Cody in Louisiana, and Charlie's in Massachusetts, so it'd be a little hard. So us playing it is going to be a little different today than you would normally if you had it physically with you. So the point of the game, as we described at the top of the show, is to get your messenger all the way to let's say Corinth. We're delivering St. Paul's letters to Corinth, and so you are going to be moving across this board, and you have to get 5 keys. And once you get all 5 keys, you have to make it over to the castle over there on the right and answer a final trivia question, and you get in, and the first person to do that wins. And on the way, though, if you get a question wrong, though, you are going to be chased down by the Roman Legion. So Roman Legion pieces will show up on the board as you answer questions wrong, and they will be a hindrance to you. If they catch up to you, you just have to answer more questions. So
do I get to choose my manner of martyrdom like St. Paul did? Like beheading?
Well, thankfully you don't get killed in this. But
oh man,
darn!
But I did want to present to Charlie later, maybe like a deluxe version of this,
where you do
exploding
die. I guess.
That's the adult version.
Yeah, I'd like to see St. Paul get dragged to the town, pressed. Beaten, he goes on, right?
All right. So to start out, we get to, or you guys will get to pick a color of the tokens down here on the bottom. You got yellow, black, green, orange, red, and blue, and that will also correspond to the Roman legions who will follow you. So if you want to do that, you should be able to have control of all the tokens. So just drag one up that you would like to use.
Anybody mind if I take Marion Blue?
No, it's all right.
All right.
Okay, I'm just going to keep your tokens down at the bottom there, or at least have a copy of it. Just so get these guys out of the way. And then as you guys collect keys, I'll just put them down like beneath your token down at the bottom, just so we can keep track of what kind of keys you guys have. So,
This guy looks like a hobbit. I'm surprised nobody picked him.
We've only got 3 up there.
Yeah, so I will be, instead of playing, just because the game revolves around trivia cards I got right here. I wasn't able to scan these all into to roll 20 here, so I'm going to answer the questions and play the Roman Legionnaires, where normally just the person to your right would ask you the question, and then you just go in a circle from there. So,
I'm gonna lose so hard at this.
So do we get the easy questions or the hard questions?
Yeah, so there's 2 versions of questions.
Give me the easy ones.
So just so at the beginning of the game, you're supposed to say each person is supposed to say, do they want the hard questions or do they want the easy questions? So Cody, if you want the easy questions, I can do that.
I know whatever everybody else is gonna do.
Okay, I mean it doesn't matter. It technically you could have a mix if you wanted to, but I
would like every 8th question to be easy.
Okay. All right. Makes this more complicated. Okay. Just for that, everybody gets hard questions.
All right.
All right. So, Charlie, why don't you start us out, actually? So to roll dice in here, on the left side of your screen, you'll see a bunch of symbols. There's there's a little decahedron or a
Mhm.
100-sided or a 20-sided dice. So mouse over that, and it'll pop up a drop box, and then find the one that says die 6, and then you can click that, and it will roll for you. There you go. So you got a 5.
Did I do it?
Oh
Okay.
man,
Oh,
got
yeah.
a heavy roller here.
Yeah, so you did it. Over on the right side of the screen, there's a chat box. So it should tell you that. Or,
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
so I can
Yeah.
see here. Yeah. So you rolled a 5 for the first one, so you can take that one. So just you get to move your token. And so while you're moving, there's a couple other special squares in here. So the obviously the eagle crested icon here, that's the Roman legions. That's what's going to happen, or that's where the Roman legions are going to show up when they show up on the screen. The angel's wings are the biblically accurate angel's wings, by the way, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, lots of wings.
Those are the what are they called? The heavenly helper spaces. So when you land on that, if you're getting attacked by Roman, or you're getting followed by the Roman legion, you can stop there, and you can either choose to pick up a special card, a heavenly helper card, or you can choose one of the Roman legions to disappear. So that choice is up to you at that point. So yeah. Next, Scott, why don't you go next?
Do you go diagonally through the
Yeah, you can
squares,
go horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. So
alrighty. I keep wanting to press it on the roll 20 on the share screen instead of.
all right.
Okay, 4.
All right.
me.
And so if I haven't mentioned it yet, I'll probably put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. I will have the audio podcast up, but obviously we want to direct everybody to the video podcast. So please, if you're listening to the audio podcast, go on over to YouTube. I'll make sure there's a link, and you can just so you can watch the game with us there. All right, Cody, your turn.
Yeah. All right.
Wake up.
Let's see. I'm awake. Wake up, Limbus. All right. So I'm rolling the die 10, you said?
Die 6.
Die 6. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Boom.
Ooh, nice. High
Oh,
number.
poor
What did I
Cody
get?
got a 1.
You got a 1.
Where's
It's gonna
the
be a
chat?
long
There we
game for
go.
Cody.
Oh, I told you I'm gonna suck at this. All right, so
There
I
you
just moved one box.
Yep. So the start square, that's just one big square. So you can move at any of these squares all around it.
Any of these squares all around. And where am I aiming? Like
so you want to get to these houses with the keys.
the houses with the keys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to get to all 5 keys before you can get to Corinth.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Charlie, you're next.
6 again. Wow.
All right. 6.
Whoa,
Nice.
Charlie, what is going on over there? It's like the game master advantage.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So Charlie has made it to. Oops. He ended up behind the keys. Let me dig you out there.
So many keys.
That's awesome.
Okay. Let me make sure I put them in the top layer. So you guys don't
each
get
player
buried.
has to go to each key.
Yeah. Yep. Each player has to get each key. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So Charlie, your first question. St. Paul advises us to do what to each other's burdens? Is it to remove them, bear them, or increase them?
Bear them.
Bear them is correct. All right, Charlie, you
Now
have
you have
received
to
your
act
first
out
key.
a bear.
With a she bear.
All right. So Charlie's got his first key. So he's well on his way to making it to Corinth.
For all
He's
his multiple
destroying
choice.
us.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are, or most of them are multiple choice. So
Okay.
you have, 30,
That makes it a little
30%
bit better
chance.
for me. All right.
Glad
Yeah.
we didn't have to cite
Actually, I have a
chapter and verse
chance
on
now.
that one.
Right.
All
right,
Scott.
Scott.
He
Scott, your
grew up
turn.
Southern Baptist. He would have got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
A
All
2.
right, two for Scott. Hey, you can still make it to that first house though.
Oh,
You can make it
okay,
to the
yeah,
I think that's the blue
diagonal.
key there or the purple key. Yeah, it's the purple key. Yeah, you can move diagonally.
I think.
All right.
Sweet.
All right, Scott. What did St. Paul call a prolonged discomfort that he suffered to prevent him from being too elated?
Is
So
it the
there's
thorn in
not-
his side? Is it? Wait, is it multiple choice?
It is not multiple choice, unfortunately.
The thorn in his side.
Yeah, it's close enough. He called it a thorn in his flesh, a messenger of Satan. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
None of
Or
us men
as-
know anything about that thorn in his flesh.
Or as the meme indicates, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah. All right, Cody.
All right.
Your turn. All right, let's
Die
see if
six.
you can get a
Hit it
higher
up.
than.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
5.
All right.
All
So I
right.
got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and
Look
a
at
5.
him go.
Nice. All right, Cody's all the way up
Hold
to
on.
the green key. Okay, Cody.
This
Go.
part of the
you're
board
ready.
makes me want.
I'm ready. Go ahead. Hold
Okay.
on, Rose.
Which are the marks characteristic of true apostles according to St. Paul? Is it complete poverty, signs and wonders, or honor?
Go with signs and wonder.
Signs and wonders is correct.
Got a key.
You got a
Boom,
key.
baby.
Green key.
These are well written questions too. I was
Yeah.
a professional quiz bowl question writer for a point in my life. And
Wow.
so I get irritated by poorly written questions, but these are good.
All right, Charlie, your turn to roll.
5.
All right,
Oh my
5.
gosh.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you can make it with an
Charlie.
orange key.
What's these high rolls?
Okay.
All right, orange key. Okay, where was the oldest known full text of the New Testament found? In Rome, Egypt, or Judea?
Mm.
It's a good question.
Egypt.
Egypt is correct.
Oh,
It was found at the monastery of St. Catherine at the base of Mount Sinai.
Nice.
yeah. Oh, there's a cool story about that. Can I tell it, or is that too nerdy?
Yeah, well, as long as you can roll and continue playing the game. Yeah.
So there was a guy researching, ancient codices of the Bible, and he went to that. Hey, a 6. I should
Nice.
talk more about this.
I heard ancient Codes of the Bible.
Looking for ancient manuscripts, original manuscripts of the Bible, and he went to this monastery. What was that, 4 or 5?
Yeah, it's 4. 1, 2, 3 technically, but yeah, you could make it with the
Okay,
6
cool.
to there.
He
All right.
he went to this monastery and he was talking to the abbot. Like, it's very difficult to get to this monastery. He was talking to the abbot, and another monk keeps walking by the room they're in with baskets of papers, and this researcher of ancient texts keeps getting distracted by this, and eventually asks the abbot, what is that guy doing? And the guy was taking old paper to burn, to feed the furnace. And it just so happened that it was some of those original manuscripts, some of the oldest manuscripts of the Bible that was just old papers.
Wow, that's a good thing they caught it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Makes me sweaty just thinking about it.
Okay, so before we get too far, okay, so Charlie just moved, but I still need to ask Scott his question for
Oh,
landing
sorry,
on
I
orange.
Go ahead.
No, all good.
Oh, sorry.
in
Yeah,
the-
I was like, let's just do this.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I was keeping track. So, okay, in the letter to the Galatians, St. Paul states that he has been appointed by the apostles, Jesus Christ, and God the Father, or the Holy Spirit.
Or the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, it's hard.
Now, that's a
I'm
multiverse
gonna-
event I want to see.
Da-da-da.
I want to say the apostles, but I'm going to say Jesus.
Okay, Jesus Christ and the Father is correct.
Cool.
Nice. You guys are doing really good. I
It's
might
like
not
they're
be able
smart.
to. I might not be able to put the Romans out. You know what? Why don't we, after Cody's turn here, or no?
Wait,
Charlie
if we
just
get a
took his
question
turn.
wrong,
Yeah,
so it's Scott's turn again. If we get a question
Yeah, it's
wrong,
Scott's
the
turn.
Romans come out.
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
I might get questions wrong on purpose. Where do they go?
Yeah. So, when I personally, a couple times with my daughter, I was like, why don't we put a Roman legion out like immediately on the first turn, just to kind of keep it interesting. So this game is so open ended too, that you can tweak little rules and stuff like that and still make it really interesting, or to make it more exciting and stuff.
Where do they go when you?
So they will pop up on these red squares here,
Okay,
and they will. So they're all color coded to your characters, and they will, at the end of your turn, they will roll as well and then follow you. So normally you would move your own, but because of our setup today, I'm going to be playing them.
So they only come up if I get a question wrong, the Roman guards of my color come up and follow
exactly.
me.
Yep.
Oh, I was hoping that it would be like they just come up on the board and maybe slow everybody else down. And I was
You stepped on a Roman legion.
Yeah, strategically get questions wrong so that I can attempt to slow y'all down a little.
Right. Yeah. Scott, is your turn now. So after Cody's turn, regardless of if we have any Roman legions come out, I will put one out for each of you guys.
So I don't have to count the squares in the house.
The house does. Yeah, the house is one square by itself. So
excellent.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, nice.
Oh wait, no, I
you only have 5.
You got
Never
5.
mind.
Back up.
My bad.
All good. Okay, Cody, your turn.
Hit it. 5.
There you go. Nice.
All right, we got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Nice. All right, Cody.
All right.
Your question. Hey, get off those keys. You'll slip and fall. I was hurt. Okay.
Personal injury suit waiting to happen.
When the oldest known full text of the New Testament was found, or when was the oldest known full text of the New Testament found? Was it in the Middle Ages, the 19th century, or the 20th century?
I'm going to say the Middle Ages.
Okay, that is incorrect.
Oh,
It is the 19th century.
Oh,
It
wait.
was dis-
Okay, hold.
It was
Is that dude I was talking about?
I misheard the question.
yeah.
Okay,
It was
so
discovered in
when was the oldest
1844.
one found?
Yeah. Yep. It was
Okay.
discovered in 1844. The
Okay.
text is dated to the mid 4th century. It is called the Codex. Codex.
Is it Catherine something?
Sinaiticus. Sinaiticus, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one that was found on Mount Sinai at St.
Nice.
Catherine's Monastery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just the question right before that. Okay. Cody, you have a Roman legion coming after you now.
Woo!
I like my little guys with swords.
Do I have to
Yeah,
leave the
they're
house
very
and come
threatening.
back, or do I just answer the
Yeah,
question?
so the Roman, you will have to stay there because, or I mean, you could leave if you wanted to, but the Roman legions cannot get you while you're in the house. So you can stay there and continue to answer questions until you get the one right to get the key. And yeah, so I will now put one out for everybody else. Boop. And actually, you guys are all over here, so I will put you over here. Okay, Charlie, your turn next.
3, 1,
All right.
2, 3.
Okay, and so I guess I'll roll for the Roman legions. I can actually do something. 6. Okay. Yeah.
What?
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He got you. Yeah, sometimes it's like you get really lucky and you can outpace them, and other times you're just constantly stuck. So now Charlie, when it's Charlie's next turn, he will have to answer a trivia question so that he can run away from the Roman legion.
Cool.
Okay, Scott. So it's now your turn.
All right.
And so one of the other rule tweaks that I came up with as well is if you get caught by the Roman legion and on your next turn you answer the question, if you answer it wrong again,
6.
not only does another Roman legion come out, but you immediately roll the die 6, and the Roman legion starts dragging you back toward the start space. So
Cool.
it would be like especially late game when you got all the keys and you get caught right at the end, and it starts dragging you away.
Oh,
Yeah, if y'all need any game testers, we work for free.
Yeah.
We work for books.
Yeah.
or the games.
Right, or the games, yeah. Okay.
Or bookmarks
Scott.
even. We're cheap.
We just work for publicity.
Right. All right, Scott. What does the Hebrew word Adonai mean? Lord, Messiah, or Savior?
Well, Messiah is a Hebrew word for Messiah. Lord, Messiah, or what was the other one?
Savior.
I guess I'll go Lord.
Lord is correct. All right, you got yourself a green key. Boom. All right, Cody, your turn. You get. I gotta roll for the Roman Legion there for Scott. He's right up to the house.
Cool.
All right, now Cody, do you want to run away from the house or you want to stay there?
Stay here, man.
Okay. All right, to test if you are living in faith, St. Paul advises you to examine yourself, ask a priest, or ask people around you.
That's a tough one.
He doesn't say ask a priest.
That would be handy, though.
That would be handy. Yeah. I'm
Am I
pretty
living
sure.
in faith, Father?
I'm pretty sure he says examine yourself.
And you are right. Examine yourself.
Boom.
All right.
That's right.
Good.
That's how people are like, oh, you can't tell me what to do because examine yourself. Right? Isn't that how you interpret that?
I think so.
It was X, Y, Z. Examine your.
I think St. Paul probably did it with a little less sass, but
probably.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie. It is now your turn, so you'll have to answer a question. Across which three?
Wait! You got to roll my guy to chase me.
Oh, that's right.
I got you back.
Okay, 3.
Ha! Sucker.
1, 2, 3. Well, he can't reach it anyway, so it's all right. Anyway, across which 3 continents do the events of the New Testament take place?
Europe.
Okay.
Asia.
Okay.
And Africa.
All correct. All right.
I
So
think St. Thomas made it to Antarctica.
Well, look, I'm telling you, Jesus was in America if you read the Book of Mormon.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. So you get to roll, and so you'll get to break away from the Roman Legion, and the Roman Legion will be, I guess, frozen for this round, so he won't chase you.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled before you asked the question and got a 1.
Okay. I got a 1. Okay.
Poor Charlie.
Okay. You'll still have a chance to get away though. So, because they won't move this round, but you'll be able to roll next round and hopefully get to the house. I don't know if you can roll a 0 on a 6-sided die, but
you're getting close.
Oh man, Sky.
Do I pass through spaces occupied by other people, or do I have to go
yes,
around?
you can, as long as you don't end on a space with another player.
Yeah. All right. So I can do 1.
So I'm just envisioning, right? Like Scott's in the house, and this Roman guy comes up, and he's like, "Exit the house, and I will take you in." And Scott just like jumps on the horse out of the window and just like takes off.
There you go. Nice. All right.
So I landed on one of the.
Yeah, so you landed on the Heavenly Helper. So you have a choice. You can either make your Roman Legionnaire disappear, or you can pick a Heavenly Helper card. And they have different effects, like instantly take you to one of the key houses, or there's a whole bunch of different kinds.
Is there can I convert my Roman Legion to Christianity?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you can think of it that way, yeah. If you would like to do that, so that would remove him from the board,
Yes.
or her, I guess. Most likely him, but want to be inclusive, I suppose. Okay, so that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Those cards are very
so your
alluring,
Roman,
though.
Your Roman legionnaire has left.
Left
Okay.
the building.
Left the building.
Yeah, as you jumped on your horse to take off, you're like, you just quoted scripture at him as you were running away, and he was like, "Oh yeah,
He fell off his horse on the road to Damascus.
oh yeah, there you go."
Eric, the DM, is coming out.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
All right. Yep, ready for you, Cody.
Boom. Big old one.
Nice.
What's
Oh,
up?
Cody.
I'm gonna go backwards into the house.
Cook a little supper.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I rolled a 1 too, so
Yes.
so lucky you.
Score.
The
you
turtle
go.
and the turtle.
All right, Charlie, your turn again. So most likely you'll get into the house. So yeah, roll a 6 now.
Overkilling it.
Oh, he did. He rolled
Yeah.
a 6. Oh,
Yep.
no.
That's fine.
All right. So what does the word Christ mean? I think Scott already gave this one away. Does it mean Son of God, Anointed One, or Innocent One?
Anointed one.
Anointed
That's
One
it.
is correct. Anointed One or Christ comes from the Greek word Christos.
And the
you
Hebrew
give me-
Mashiach.
Give me an example. What was the easy question on that card? So I'm
Yeah.
kind of like seeing
Okay.
about my kids and stuff, you know?
The easy question on that card was, in his Sermon on the Mount, Jesus preached the eight what? Beatitudes, commandments, or rules for Christians.
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. So if your
So I
kids
think
are-
my 5-year-old wouldn't quite be there.
right, yeah. Yeah, I think this is, I don't know if there's is there an age? It says eight plus.
That's
the
actually what I
box.
was thinking is
Yeah.
Rose is my 8-year-old. I'm thinking, I think
Yeah.
like she would be able to remember those and answer those questions and learn from it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think you should have to beat your parents in this game to receive your first Eucharist.
There you go.
Add it to the catechism.
Yeah. Or to altar serve, one of the other.
An amendment. to the
Scott, your turn, by the
catechism.
way.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm the weakest link on remembering to go.
Okay.
A mighty
Legion
two.
fallen chair. Oh, that was me.
Oh, I got 6.
Yeah, you got a
Oh,
6.
look at that.
I had to roll for Charlie's Roman. So
Good gracious. I'm
Man,
already at this place.
nice. There you go. Yeah, sometimes you just charge right through this too. All right.
I'm going to
Scott.
face plant and fail on an easy question.
Okay. Who is considered the first martyr of the church?
Oh, I'm in his guild. Saint Stephen, the proto martyr.
Yeah, Saint Stephen. That is correct.
You know, speaking of like first of something in the church, something that I realized the other day, and I say I realized this, it was as I was what was I doing at the time? I think I was meditating on scripture or something like that, and I wasn't even on this scripture verse. I was thinking about Padre Pio and Saint Francis and the stigmata, and I was like, I wonder who was the first stigmatist. And you know, it was Saint Francis is widely believed to be one of the first. But what it brought into my mind, who was the first to bear the wounds of Christ? So not necessarily to inexplicably bear the wounds of Christ, but to bear the wounds of Christ, right? And it was
The
anybody
Blessed
know?
Mother.
No,
A sword pierced her heart as well.
Saint Dismas.
Oh, on the
Oh,
cross.
right.
On the
Yeah.
cross, he was the thief on
Yeah.
the cross to the right.
Right.
So that's an anti-woman answer, I think.
So I thought it was, I was like, whoa. And so I was like, what's his name? Da, 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 da. Dismas. Whoa.
And
Maybe they'll
Peter
learn more
wasn't far
about this.
behind either.
Yeah, it was. I was just like, this is really interesting. So, anyways,
Anyway, your turn, Cody.
yep. Don't tell anyone. Yes.
Nice.
All
Oh, 6.
We going to the house.
I like how all the houses are
All
like
right.
6 apart.
Right, yeah. Okay. What is the meaning of the word Lucifer? Is it light bearing, darkness bringing, or fallen angel? think in post I'm going to add the Jeopardy music.
Light bearer.
Light bearer is correct.
I was tossing back and forth
Light
between
bearing,
light bearer
I should say.
and between that one and the fallen angel, because I knew it wasn't darkness bearer.
Right.
I was just like,
How would one even do that?
Okay. Charlie, you got. Oh yeah, Charlie, it's your turn now.
wait, give me my key and roll for
yeah.
the Roman guy.
Hey, Charlie can still roll. Ooh, 1. Oh, you're getting lucky, Cody.
No, Eric out.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the 1. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see if the Roman Legion catches up to you. Oh, I got a 6. Okay.
Oh no.
He got you. All right. Scott, your turn.
All right.
Scott just needs 1 more key
I can
for
get a
all our
6
audio
on this.
listeners. So please go over
Oh, I
to the
got
YouTube
a
channel. So
6.
you can,
Oh
so you
my
can
God.
see-
I'm never this
Kidding
lucky.
me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's why I never play trivia
5.
games with Scott.
He gets the lucky rolls and
It
can
always
get through the
answers the
trivia.
question right.
right.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna get it wrong.
Unless you ask him a question about the Beatles.
Right. Okay. Who acknowledged the grace that had been given to Paul by the Lord? Just Peter, all the remaining apostles, or Peter, James, and John?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Ooh, that is a hard one.
Whew. Just trying to
Who-
breathe. Get a little,
Who
get a little
acknowledged
sweaty
the
on this
grace-
one.
Get a little sweaty, starting to pants a little.
Oh,
Nerves are building. Oh.
I'm gonna say the second one, Peter and all the apostles.
Okay, so all the apostles. Okay, that is incorrect.
Oh, the
Ooh.
shame.
Doo-doo-doo.
It was just Peter.
No, it was Peter, James, and John. The third option.
The Trinity.
Yeah. All right, Cody, your turn.
Woo. All right, here we go. Rolling the dice. I got a big old 2.
Big old 2. So you could go to that heavenly helper there.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm.
So this doesn't count that I moved there, right? So it's the 1.
No.
I did something crazy. 1 and dose. And I'm
There you
gonna go
go.
with the heavenly helper. I'm gonna try to.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there that
Okay.
slows other players down?
No. It does
Aw.
not. It only
Okay.
enhances your abilities. It does not
Okay, cool.
hinder anybody else. Okay, so
That's totally fine.
the card you got is Hide It Well. Fellow Christians you meet teach you how to hide things in case of being searched. If you are captured by the Legion, your letter
Nice.
will not be found and you will be released at once without questioning.
Oh, cool.
So you will get to, if you get caught, you get to roll again.
All
I
right.
like those cards. That's neat gameplay.
Yeah.
Community
Oh.
chest.
All right. Yep, Charlie, your turn again. So you are caught. Which martyr was persecuted by Saul of Tarsus? Was it St. John, St. James, or St. Stephen?
St. Stephen.
St. Stephen is correct. All right, so you get to roll and get away from the Roman Legion.
Okay, some slow traveling.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. Yeah. And let's see. I don't think since Cody's on that Heavenly Helper space, you're unfortunately not able to land there. So, but yeah. Okay. So your Roman Legion doesn't get to move since you were able to get away from him this round. So now we go to Scott. Scott, your next
I only
question.
rolled a 1.
Well, you're in the last key.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, if you wanna move out of the house, that's fine.
No,
You can
no,
do
no.
that.
That's fine.
Yeah. Go for another key.
Yep. Okay. St. Paul asserts that the gospel. St. Paul asserts that the gospel that was preached by him was A, received from Peter, B, came through a revelation of Jesus Christ, or C, was taught to him by Ananias while Paul was being cured in Damascus.
That Ananias one is
Sounds legit.
tricking me out here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he received it from Jesus.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
All right, Scott has his last key.
Give me my nitro pills.
All right, and so for the castle, the doors, the two space in front of the doors, you just have to be adjacent to the door space. So any space like right here, all the way around.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so
and what happens at the
less
doors?
of a move.
You just answer one more question, and so I'm going to put
It's
this
not like
guy
Trivial
right in
Pursuit.
here.
Yes.
Ah!
Slowed him down. He got the last key, and now all of
Yep.
a sudden he has 3 Roman legions.
And it's so interesting time. Like what I did with or one of the times I played with my daughter, just to kind of give her more of a fair shake. I made it so that when I reached the castle gates, I had to use each key, as in I had to answer 5 questions. But just in interest of time, we'll just do one question. So yeah, Cody, your turn.
Okay. Cool. Foe.
All right.
Big old foe. All right. 1,
almost there.
2, 3, and 4.
All right. And your Roman Legion coming up from behind. Ooh, 6. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He caught up pretty quick.
Yikes.
Hello.
All right, Charlie, your turn next. Ooh. Well, you could go for that Heavenly Helper and knock out your Legionnaire there.
All right, I'll give that a shot.
There you go. All right. So he is going to the Heavenly Helper, and the Legionnaire is not able to find you anymore. You like change clothes or something like that. Some kind of underground railroad kind of situation.
Saved by Harriet Tubman.
Put on a yellow cloak.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
I actually pulled the red one down there.
All right, Scott, your turn.
Okay, so I made it to the doors, I think. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Is that to the doors?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I wonder if the safe move was banishing my my dude.
Yeah. All right, last question.
Go.
When was the word Catholic used for the first time? Was it in 33 AD, 110 AD, or the 20th century? And for, just to make it harder.
I was going to say, there's 2 wrong options.
Okay, well, you could just pick one. Yeah, but bonus points if you can guess who first used it.
What year was it again? The 110
so
or
there's
whatever.
33, 110, or the 20th century.
110. I would say just either Ignatius of Antioch or Justin Martyr. Are either of those right?
Yeah, one of them is right.
Oh, I think it's Ignatius of Antioch.
Yeah, you're right. But that's not the question though.
Oh, 110 is
okay, yeah, 110.
Yeah.
All right, so our winner is Scott.
Yay, Scott.
Scott. Nice.
Yay.
All right. Well, that was Journeys to St. Paul board game, produced by Sophia Institute Press. Excellent board game. I think that this is a great game for families, especially if you're just want something more faith-based to to help your family learn and grow as well, and having a fun time just hanging out and being together. It's very important to have family time together nowadays, and I think St. Paul or Journeys to St. Paul is a great board game to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a good opportunity. Like if we can get permission for them to use this kind of on a I wouldn't say a regular basis, but every now and then we get together, a few of us and a few of our Catholic nerds family, and try to promote this board game to them and to their families. Just to play it online and say, hey, if you really want to dive into this, go check this out on Sophia Institute Press and order you a copy of the game to play at home. Yeah,
I think y'all succeeded in making a game that's fun for both adults and children. I know that it may seem kind of challenging, but I think that's super challenging, and y'all nailed it. Y'all stigmata it.
Well, I
see what
appreciate
you
that.
did there.
I appreciate that, guys. You guys are the experts, so that means a lot. And I really appreciate you having me on, and it was a lot of fun to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
will
thank
you
you.
just make sure to tell everybody the best way to get the games and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, you can get it at sophiainstitute.com. We'll have it up there, and we've got a lot of stock, so we're eager to sell.
And how much
Awesome.
is it right now for our listeners?
Does anybody have that up? I think it's
I'll have it up in 2
Ooh, the
seconds
Habsburg
here.
way. That looks good.
It is $39.99.
Okay.
Can you get a bundle of the Habsburg way with the St. Paul game?
yeah, just add both to cart. They'll come in the same day.
Gotcha.
There you go. Nice. Awesome. Thank you again, Charlie. I'll have all the links and stuff in the show notes, so please go there and check that out. If you listen to this through the audio podcast, great on you for watching or listening to a board game through an audio podcast. But if you want to actually see the game, please go to the YouTube channel, of course.
We'll
Yeah,
probably post it on Facebook as well. So
of course,
go there
yeah.
as well.
So check it out everywhere you can. And Scott, why don't you roll us out?
Sure. Thank you for nerding out with us, the Catholic Nerds. This has been Scott Smith,
Cody Reed,
Eric Dumont, and our special guest, Charlie McKinney.
Yes,
Charlie.
thanks for
thank you
joining
for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Please do subscribe to this podcast and share it with all your friends, Catholic or not. And remember, boys and girls, never be lukewarm about Luke Skywalker, Luke Cage, Luke the Evangelist, or the light of Christ. Good night.
Well done. Well done.
Boom, 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 boom.